So this may come across as a little bit more of a challenge than a review. Next time, especially if you're in the Midwest and you feel a storm coming, put on Anberlin Cities, turn the lights low, maybe light a candle, maybe keep it dark, put on some nice headphones, and just hit the start on debut. While the storm begins to build and the music also begins to build, I want you to just think about all of the feelings you've ever felt in regards to love, loss, cynicism, self destruction, loneliness, isolation, unreturned feelings of affection, and just listen to this album as the rain continues to go. I think that's going to be a really awesome experience because what we have here in Anberlin Cities is an evolution of what happened on Never Take Friendship Personal. For the most part, instead of a cynicism that we may get from the song Never Take Friendship Personal, we get a little bit more reflection, a little bit more mature sound with the contemplation and overthinking that goes on when you're in an unsure relationship. I know that when I was a teenage something and my hormones were raging and I was being angsty and stupid, one of my favorite things to do back then was to just throw on my headphones and listen to a lot of the tracks from this album. We start off with the killer track Godspeed right after that debut opening track, and man, is it just a fire, lightning right out of the gates, and it's awesome. When the music video came out for this song, I just really was into it. I thought it was dope. It was a little bit different sound, as I said, evolving off of the stuff they did with Never Take Friendship Personal, but this one was just way more hard-hitting and in your face. And then right off of that, they kick it back into Adelaide, which does a little bit of the kind of flirting with pop punk that they've done in the past, but this one is a more emo sounding tone. Think the pop punk when the Paramore and the Fall Out Boy started throwing in some of those tones, but this is even more mature sounding than that, once again largely because of Stephen Christian's voice. Something that we get to hear on Cities for the first time that we only got hints of on the other previous two albums, Blueprints and Never Take Friendship Personal, is that we get to see Stephen Christian and Anberlin actually really slow it down and take it easy for once. And that's where I think a lot of the more mature feel of this album comes out in these more ballady, slower, lower key songs. Where Anberlin previously was kind of known for just kind of these hard hitting, emotionally driven, crazy things, now we get to see some of this like self internal reflection where the lyrics have always kind of pointed to that, but the music didn't necessarily slow down enough to let you get inside your head in such a raw way. Previously, everything was about blasting at full 10, or at least maybe down to 7. This one brings it down to a 3, and that kind of seeps in a way that they were even unable to do before. City's greatest accomplishment is the way that it is able to embody in both music and lyrics so many feelings that everyone has had when it comes to growing up and looking at the hard situations in life. The highs and lows, ebbs and flows, fasts and slows, hards and softs of the album all reflect the way that we don't feel emotions in a logical, normal, predictable pattern. Our emotions come in weird waves. And musically, City succeeds as an album because it's able to communicate so much through the sound of the music instead of just the lyrics, which of course have a certain emotional draw and feel to them, but the music is able to really make you feel the way that you felt when you have these same thoughts to yourself. The album begins to wrap up with one of my personal favorite Anberlin songs, Dismantle Repair, which, man, is that song an emo song. Just a frickin' emo song. Talking about the way that this person's crush or love or girlfriend is able to just completely dismantle everything that he's built up defense-wise and even his core foundation as a person. I feel like if you're the type of person that just really doesn't know how to get in touch with their emotions, you're just going to hate this and it's going to come across as just complete trash. But then again, so is kind of the rest of Anberlin that we've talked about so far. Now, I don't love every single track on this album, but as a whole, the album is still very strong. Something worth noting, though, is that if you actually look up Anberlin albums ranked and you just Google that phrase, most lists put Cities at the very top. I found this curious since most fans that I know of Anberlin, of course, put Never Take Friendship Personal on top, which we talked about that possibly being the band's magnum opus. I thought it was weird that so many people put Cities on top. When I asked my friend, Anberlin's superfan Becca, what she thought about this, she thought maybe it's because Never Take Friendship Personal kind of put them on the board so that everyone was really ready for when this album dropped to just jump on board, which they did. Like I said, not every single song in this album is. The song There's No Mathematics to Love and Loss, while it has a very awesome title, I don't really like the song that much. but there's so many other strong tracks on the album that I still come across giving it a solid 4 out of 5 stars. I just checked and this actually does match up with what Jesus Freak Hideout gave the album back in 2007. Something that I think is really strong here is, aside for the fact that Anberlin's music is mostly guitar focused and no modern music that's popular really is, it doesn't feel as dated as you might think when you're listening to other music from 2007, because it's kind of unique sounding, and even since then not a lot has been copying this style. So you don't have the same effect where some pop music is so placed in a time and place that it sounds weird when you remove it from that context. This actually, I mean, once again, it's guitar music, so it does sound dated, but it's still unique in its sound. So let me know what your thoughts of this album are if you got a chance to listen to it. Do you think it's better than Never Take Friendship Personal? Where would you put it on your ranking of Anberlin albums? Do you think it's awesome? Do you think it's trash? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video and my thoughts of it, give us a thumbs up on the video, and if you want to see more videos like this, please hit that subscribe button and then hit the bell. The next Anberlin album I'll be covering in my continued discography run through that I'm listening to all of Anberlin's albums on the road to get ready for their concert that's coming up next month is their 2008 album, New Surrender. I'm looking forward to listening to that one and talking about it with you guys again soon. So yeah, thanks for watching.